Imagine waking up one morning to find that your money has an expiration date, just like a carton of milk. It's a strange thought, isn't it? But let's entertain this outlandish premise for a moment. In this peculiar world, your hard-earned cash would lose its value after a certain period, just like food going bad. But why would any government introduce such a system? Well, it could be a radical measure to stimulate spending, combat stagnation, or even to fight inflation. Now I know what you're thinking, this seems like a far-fetched idea, right? But isn't it fascinating to ponder? To consider the implications, the possibilities, the cataclysmic shifts in our understanding of wealth and value. So, what would happen in a world where money expires? Let's delve into the possible consequences. In a world where money expires, the economy as we know it would undergo massive changes. Imagine for a moment that every dollar bill in your wallet had an expiration date. How would that influence your financial behavior? What ripple effects would that have on the broader economy? Firstly, it could lead to an increase in the velocity of money. The velocity of money refers to the speed at which money changes hands in an economy. If people were under pressure to spend their money before it lost its value, we could expect this velocity to skyrocket. Money would be changing hands at a rapid pace, driving an uptick in economic activity. But what about savings and investments? If money were to expire, traditional forms of saving could become obsolete. After all, who would want to save money that might be worthless in a few years? This could potentially drive people to invest their money in assets that do not depreciate over time, like real estate or gold. However, this shift could have unintended consequences. An increased demand for these assets could lead to price inflation, making them unaffordable for many. And if everyone was investing instead of saving, who would be left to lend to? This brings us to the potential impact on the banking system and the lending industry. Banks rely on deposits to fund their lending activities. If people were no longer saving their money in banks, these institutions could struggle to provide loans. This could lead to a credit crunch, stifling economic growth. On the other hand, the need to spend money before it expires could also lead to hyperinflation. If everyone was spending their money as quickly as possible, demand for goods and services could outstrip supply, leading to rapidly rising prices. From hyperinflation to a potential boost in spending, the economic implications are vast and varied. As with any change, the effects would not be uniformly positive or negative, but rather a complex mix of both. But it's not just about the economy. Expiring money could have profound social and psychological effects. Imagine the pressure of feeling like you're constantly racing against the clock. The stress levels could potentially skyrocket as people are pushed to spend their money before it expires. This pressure could lead to impulsive buying decisions, altering consumer behavior in significant ways. Moreover, it could deepen the economic divide. Those with less disposable income might find themselves struggling to keep up, while the affluent might simply increase their spending, thereby widening the wealth gap. Additionally, the fear of losing money could lead to a society where the value of money is perceived differently. It could transform from being a secure store of value into something fleeting and transient. Even our relationships with one another could change. Would people become more generous, knowing their money could expire, or would they become more protective of their resources? From stress to changing spending habits, the impact of expiring money extends far beyond the economy. The idea of money expiring may seem far-fetched, but it offers a unique lens to examine our economic system. Today, we've explored the concept of currency with an expiration date and how it could send ripples through our economic, social, and psychological landscapes. Imagine a world where the ticking clock on your banknotes prompts you to invest, spend, or donate, instead of simply hoarding wealth. Economically, expiring money could potentially stimulate spending and redistribute wealth, albeit with the risk of hyperinflation. Socially, it may redefine our perception of wealth and success, challenging the notion of accumulating money for its own sake. Psychologically, it could change our relationship with money, making it a tool for immediate use, rather than a long-term security blanket. In a world where money expires, we would face challenges and changes, but also opportunities to rethink our relationship with money and the economy.